Hey everyone, this is Lochlyn Munro, and you are watching the Dave and Creech Show. Try not to puke.
Many of the terms, comments, and stories you're about to hear may not be suitable for some. Listener discretion advised.
I'll give you a good reason why my house is not complete. I have a professional wrestler and a gangster rapper building my house.
All right now, boys and girls, we want to introduce...
Mom says when I wear this badge, you're supposed to treat me like a man of the law. Dave Sheridan.
I did poop my pants a little bit on purpose. I wanted to.
Oh, so. You did it.
CJ Creech.
I actually got on Facebook a friend request from a member of ISIS this past week, which was really freaking weird.
Have you seen your beard lately?
The Dave and Creech Show.
Now here's your hosts, Dave and Creech.
Hey. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, where are you at?
I'm at my house.
Are you in LA right now?
Outside LA. Yeah.
Cool.
I can't divulge because I have weapons and a young daughter who I don't want men trying to find. Yeah.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. My daughter's 18 now, Dave.
She's 15. That's this many. Yeah.
And my son's 14.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, he can date her. Does he play hockey? Is he a strapping, good-looking young man like yourself?
Nice young man. He's a good kid.
Yeah, I'll have to see a picture of your you'll have to send a resume for your son, and I'll let you know if he can date her. Is he into older women? 15.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good Canadian kid, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Does he play hockey? Of course,
yeah.
Right? I guess there you go. She likes hockey players.
Well, there you go.
All right. I'm eating my breakfast.
Well done, bro.
If you don't mind.
Hold on, breakfast? What time do you roll out of bed, bro?
I just
I'm 6. I'm 5:30. I do more before 6 a.m. than most people do in their lives, Sheridan. You know that.
I know you do. And then you stop.
Isn't that an army captain or something?
Yeah, and then you stop.
Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea. I mean, I'm going to call this out. Hey, first of all, Creech, is Steven getting on or not? What's up with this?
I have no clue.
Is who?
We got like a new, we brought in a new guy to be a part of our podcast.
Okay.
And he's always like, no, that's too early for me. So we are going to, our thing is, if we're going to do more of these, I'm going to set it at Friday nights. And if you can make it, you can make it. If not, you can, because I am a night person.
Beers and a podcast, bro, right?
What?
Friday night beers and a podcast.
Exactly. Not 11 on a Tuesday. Who's on right now? But this isn't live. Just to let you know, this is not live. So you can say whatever you want. And we're going to tell you we'll cut it out, but we won't. So,
Hey, how many driver's licenses are you carrying nowadays?
Oh, okay. So carrying, I have to carry 2 because my I just had a problem in Tampa Bay, Florida, 2 weeks ago. They did not let me on the airplane with my license. I literally credit cards didn't work. Right, I had to do the old Google, show them all the movies. This is me.
Yeah.
This is me. Let me go get my license really quick. It's right there. Hold on.
Creech, you know about this?
I've heard a little bit about it. I know he had a bunch at one point.
Oh, dude, when I first met him, he had driver's licenses where he had turbans on with freaking beards in Louisiana. Then he honestly, bro, he went around and dressed up and went and got all these driver's licenses from each state. It was crazy. I knew he was a bit off when I first saw at the very first table read.
Wait, the
dude, do you remember the first table read for Scary Movie? You had driver's licenses with turbans on and beards and
yeah, I scared a lot of the cast. Didn't I come in
Yeah.
Didn't I come in as a character, or was I
Yeah, I think yeah, definitely chairs were moved away from your section of the table at about 3 feet.
Are you talking about the table read in Los Angeles, not the table read at the hotel?
Yeah, the one.
Oh, so you didn't go? Did you come to the one in Los Angeles?
No.
I showed up as Doofy at that one, and it scared the hell out of them. And but it wasn't a table read. It was meet and greet and like a kind of not a screen test, but like a cast photo. You know what I mean? Like that was like Anna and I guess the Americans. I'm sorry, Lochlyn, the Americans.
Only the Americans were allowed that one.
So this is my latest driver's license, and it's a real ID too. So I don't know how to where is the camera? Which way do we go? There we go. Look at that Muppet. So that's hard for this guy to get on an airplane. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you guys can see that, right? All of a sudden the screen went dark. Then so I do have a regular one that I did have to go get that kind of looks enough like me.
There you go. That's you.
So I had to go put that in my wallet because I was held in Tampa. But you were talking. I have kept a lot of those, man, over the years. Like this was I went to Delaware and I got this guy with I wear a wig and glasses and teeth. And he looks like Weird Al Yankovic or something. And this was that was the classic Ghost World character I got in Texas as Doug.
Dude, that looks like the character you played in Little Man. That's what that looks like.
Oh yeah, Little Man a little bit too. Yeah. Oh, this was my favorite one. I had a neck brace and everything. Where's it at? Right there. That one. Long hair. And I was
with the turban. The one with the turban was the best, bro.
I was surfing every day, so I was so dark, and there's like fake teeth on there and a neck brace, and I don't know if I have the turban on. I got a Manson one here. It was like it's kind of crazy. That's a funny one. Yeah.
Bro.
Are
these all in your wallet?
No, I just I had them all.
Say, man, you must carry around a brick in your pocket.
I was just trying to find the IDs. This was my fake ID at the University or the School of Art Institute of Chicago. There's School of Art Institute of Chicago. You see the name? It says Douglas Thomas or Douglas Thompson. Yeah, I didn't go to college. So this was I made a fake ID to get film equipment out of this school. And that's how I shot all my films underneath the fake guy. And they let me sign out the equipment. So, yeah.
Hey, do you still have the script about the Smash Up Derby?
Yeah, I do. Someone else just called me about that the other day, actually. You know, it was Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live. He called me about it. To see if
he's in Gunn's Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Is
he? He is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I just did the spin-off called Peacemaker with James Gunn. I did that. John Cena, they spun off his character into this HBO Max series, bro. I just shot it for 7 months.
Oh, yeah. I saw photos. Of you wearing that or whatever, right? Yeah.
Man, what an awesome guy James Gunn is. So smart. Great. He's just awesome.
So funny, yeah. I mean,
he is, right? Got a great sense of humor. Yeah.
Here's what people don't know, like, because obviously he did the Scooby-Doos and stuff like that. But if you go and watch all those Bring It On movies, is that what it's called, hon? Bring It On? Yeah, because she's a cheerleader. So we watched all these Bring It On, and he wrote Bring It On 3. Him and his brother.
Did he really? Oh my God.
and it's funny. That's the best.
Because I know that the one line I do remember from Bring It On is when she goes, "Bring it on." She goes, "Oh, it's been brought in."
Yeah.
Remember that line?
Which one? Oh yeah. Yeah. Was that the first one? Maybe that was.
That was the first one. Yeah.
So it's funny you say that about the Scooby-Doo, right? Because I ended up in this project because when he saw my tape, he remembered that I was one of his choices for Shaggy. Because I can do like, come on, Zoinks, man, let's go, Scoob. So I went in. Obviously, Lillard was the perfect choice for that character, but that's kind of how he just went, oh yeah, I want Lochlyn in this because I remember he was one of my choices for Scooby-Doo.
That's pretty cool.
20 years later, bro. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's funny how things work out.
It's funny how see Creech, you still have a shot. You still have a shot of whatever you're trying to do.
Are you jonesing to play Shaggy or
who, Creech?
I couldn't play Shaggy. I'd have to play like 5 Shaggies. Yeah, I could play the whole mystery gang.
Yeah, all in one.
I could play the van.
You're the van. You're definitely the van. Paint yourself latex.
Imagine your credit and introducing Creech as the mystery man.
Yeah.
Yes,
mystery
exactly.
Machine. Mystery machine.
Yeah,
You are
man.
the mystery machine.
So what else, bro?
Mm.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, the reason you came up is because, and I'm sorry for eating. Let me just say something because you were like, "Oh, you just got up." I actually thought this was. I think when I saw his text, I thought it was 11 p.m. This morning I went 11 a.m. But I went to a convention. I've been doing a lot of conventions. You know, though you've done a few of those, right?
Mhm,
And
yeah.
there was one in Oklahoma City. It was like a 3-hour flight, and that 3-hour flight from Los Angeles turned into 48 hours. 48 hours, 4 airplanes, 3 hotel rooms. And then when we got there, our luggage wasn't there. So I wore the same clothes for 3 days. And I was with a group of some other actors. It was myself, Alyssa Rose, and this guy, Robert Mukes. And we made a pact that we're going to get there. We're like, screw it, we're going to get there. Like, it was just a weird, amazing race type of thing.
Mhm.
Even though we literally walked in when it was over. It's like, what's up? And it's like, it's over. It was like Sunday at like 3. No one's there. But we were like, we need to show that we showed up. You know what I mean? And just to be like, and I videotaped a lot of it. But it was like brutal, like no sleep. You know what I mean? No, very little sleep for the whole weekend, which is normal for a convention anyway. But this was very little sleep, not getting an airplane. So,
Right.
yeah, when he said, "Are you still?" Because I got home last night at midnight.
Oh, you were just there.
Yeah, I was just there. This was all weekend.
Oh
I
my
showed up at the
God.
airport. I showed up at the airport at 4 p.m. on Friday, and I rolled into Oklahoma City at 9 a.m. Sunday. That's how long it took. And then there's no luggage, and all my photos were on the luggage. I really, it's stupid because I have a backpack, and I was always going like, I shouldn't put that stuff in there. I should have it on me, so in case this happens.
Right.
So then I had to run to Office Depot. Luckily, I had my laptop, and I was just able to bring up the photos. And
Right.
I just emailed them to Office Depot right there on the spot, and they printed up a handful. I wasn't going to do a whole bunch because
Right.
it was only a Sunday. I only did like, there's a few doofies that, I mean, you've done these, you know which one is like, everyone buys that one. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
For me, everyone buys Doofy in the vacuum.
Right.
I'm forever attached with sticking my penis in a vacuum and pooping my pants. I tell people this because,
Hey,
let
you could
me
have
ask-
a Polaroid.
a Polaroid, yeah, that would sell
You could
great
have
for
that.
you. That could sell great for you. You ought to get that one. You ought to like have a Polaroid at the table, being like, take a photo of your own penis and I'll sign it.
Yeah.
You know. For you, let me ask you a question because you've done a lot of those conventions, right?
Mhm.
You go out, but now you have Riverdale.
Yeah.
And you have a lot. You have a big career, big IMDb of films. When you're doing those conventions, what do you feel like the big 1-2 punches for people coming to your table?
Gosh, always seemed, well, I mean, Riverdale now because the show's so popular, but I mean, we do a lot of Riverdale conventions, mind you, and it's all 12 to 15-year-old girls, so that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, man, even when I've been
Hold on, really quick.
Yeah.
Whose dad do you play on Riverdale?
Betty Cooper.
Betty Cooper's dad,
Yeah.
not the granddad, right?
No. Come on.
That was a joke. That was a joke. No, somebody called out Skeet Ulrich. They go like he's like a grandfather on Riverdale. I was like a grandfather.
What?
That's funny, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it was just like a Abigail, have you ever watched Riverdale? No, sorry. No, she's not cool.
That's awesome.
No, hold on. Where can you see her? There she is.
Abigail, come on.
You've never watched. My
You don't
wife
know who
watches Riverdale.
Does Abigail know who just ask her if she knows who the Black Hood is?
Do you know who the Black Hood is? No, you're not hip. What are your shows? It's that one in North Carolina. What's it called? Outer Banks. She likes.
Oh, they filmed that here.
Ask her
Yeah.
if she's ever seen Space Buddies.
Oh, the dogs?
Yeah.
Who hasn't? Which
Come
one
on,
are
man.
you? Are you in it?
One of
Are
my
you in it, or
bigger
are you in the
ones,
puppies?
Space Buddies, bro.
Are you in the puppies?
No, man. I brought them. I was the one at the control center that brought them from space back to Earth, bro.
We'll have to watch that tonight and double check that.
Huge.
I'll take your word
Huge.
for it, though. Space Buddies. Have we seen Space Buddies? We have. Yeah, he's a guy at the control center doing something with puppies. He's running a puppy mill. Guy's running a fucking puppy mill.
No, but you know what?
Puppies.
The go-to, I got to tell you honestly, everywhere we go,
Yeah.
it's always White Chicks, man. White Chicks is so big everywhere. It's so weird.
How did this get turned around? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
No.
pretty big, major movie.
Like it just,
You know what?
I don't know what it is. It's just, it's so silly and dumb, but people just love it. And I'm talking like Belgium and Paris and all these places we've been for Riverdale conventions, and that's what they all want to talk about. White Chicks.
Let me tell you something about White Chicks, because that's like the one, except for Scary Movie 2, which I gave him hell on, but then came White Chicks, and I wasn't in that, and after that, I've made sure that Marlon's put me in every movie, right?
Right.
Because I was like, what the fuck, dude? Come on. And I always tell him, like, I'm your good luck honky. Come on, man. You got to let me in. It took him a while to realize, like, wait, Dave he can play other characters. You know what I mean? Like, if you go and look at the ones I do with them, now they want to do like a Where's Waldo? Where's the honky guy that you know, like, because they try to put me in roles that are like, you know, like he's hiding a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A different character. Right. But it's so funny because I wasn't in White Chicks. It's the one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said to Creech. Yeah.
Big one I wasn't in, and I'm on hold with American Airlines, dealing with all this customer service this whole weekend. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get another flight. We got to do this. I'm on the app. I'm on the thing. I'm sitting at customer service. The woman that I was with was African American on the other line.
Yeah.
And she was very helpful. And she finally got what we needed to get. And that's when I told her who I was afterwards. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to play that card because it means nothing. But I was like, just to let you know, you were so helpful, and just to let you know who you're on the phone with. Have you ever seen any of the Wayne Brothers movies? I was in Scary Movie. Oh, and I told her who I was. And out of all the movies, right to White Chicks. Oh my God, White Chicks! I love White Chicks. This, that. She's quoting it, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's one I'm not in. Yeah. I just always go along with it. I go, yep, White Chicks. That's great. Oh yeah, White Chicks.
It's a good. Yep.
I should put a White Chicks.
I gotta tell you, I was shocked too, because, like, for Scary Movie 2, I thought that the whole joke would have been the fact that everyone who died is now in the sequel. Like, that would have been the joke.
Yeah, like continue the.
I mean, and you didn't even die, so you should have been there. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see why I wasn't, but I think it'd be funny just to bring back and almost come back as the same people. Would have been hilarious. It's like, they died. No, they didn't die. That's the joke.
I mean, look at there's Rob Zombie made this movie trilogy, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil Rejects, and now it's 3 from Hell. That's his thing. But in Devil's Rejects, my character kills them. I just blow them all away. They're dead. And next thing you know, 10 years later, he makes another movie with them, with the same like bad guys. And I'm like, what the, I killed them. Right, Creech? Tell him.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely killed them, and then they retconned that to them surviving, and you weren't in it for any reason.
That's weird. Yeah, I know. I'm with you, but hey, I was just telling Creech that the boys have I don't know, it's Rick and Marlon, because I know you did Naked, and I was supposed to go out and do something in Naked as well, but do you remember, like, while you were shooting, there was all those lightning storms out there and stuff, so they were all like on their schedule. They couldn't like really adhere to anything, and I was shooting Riverdale at the time, and I couldn't commit to being out there for 6 weeks to shoot 4 days on a movie,
Right. Wow.
But they're doing another one.
4 days. Yep.
Yeah, they're doing another one called Boo.
What's it called?
Boo.
Boo. B-O-O.
B-O-O. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's going to shoot in Atlanta in the fall, October, I think. So check into it. Rick's producing, Marlon's starring in it, and I don't know if there's much in there for us, but it'd be fun to go out and do something.
Is it a Netflix thing again? It's part of their Netflix deal, or is
I think it might be. Yeah.
I didn't do there was one called Sextuplets or something like that.
Yeah, when he played all those characters. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a role for me, and I was playing Marlon's husband, Marlon's man or whatever, for the female that he was playing, one of the sisters or the brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And it was like a 600-pound woman, and I was going to be her white husband, but they were like in the thing. It was like bone skinny, 115 pounds, and I was like, oh, look, I'm not going Christian Bale for a freaking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go get DJ Qualls, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, and I think they just look at me like skinny. Nah, you're skinny. I'm going, I'm not skinny. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not going to give my weight away, but I'm not. So I was like, oh, that's a lot. And I started to die because they called me and they gave me the dates and everything. I started like going, okay, I'm going to cut down as much as I can and look as skinny as I can. But I wasn't going to go like, you know.
You weren't gonna harm any internal organs over it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to look like a prisoner of war, you know. And so then they called and said we scrapped the whole thing, that character in that scene, because they started looking at it. It was a budgetary thing, but it was a time thing, because that was sort of like Little Man, where Marlon had to play like how he was playing the baby in the thing, and it took so much of his time to do, because that was all done. We shot that, and it was like we shot all our scenes. He had to come in overnight and shoot all the other scenes with him in the baby stuff. And you can imagine if he's playing Marlon, it's an Eddie Murphy thing. It's a Marlon, but he's also playing a bunch of the characters in one scene. It's over and over again, how much back and forth and makeup and stuff. So they started going, we have to cut some of the stuff and make it a little bit easier to do. So I was kind of glad. I was like, that was the one. But yeah, there was. We were actually, Creech, we shot at your place. Where do you live?
Charleston.
Charleston.
Yeah.
That's where we shot Naked. And,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Charles. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And there was a hurricane. It was like a hurricane.
Was that what it was? Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I knew that there was big weather storms and stuff. And he was like,
yeah.
That's why he said to me, he goes, dude, I'd love to have you come out, but I can't just shoot you out. I got to have you here the whole time because we're going to have to work around weather. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I would have had to have missed 3 episodes of Riverdale. And I'm like, I could probably ask them for the episodes off, but I'm not going to give up all that cash for like you. They were only offering me like $3,000 for the week. I'm like, whoa, fuck, what happened to the budgets, bro?
And like with the TV shows, the money's in TV nowadays anyway. First of all, but also residuals. The residuals are, they pay in gangbusters, especially Riverdale. Oh my goodness, you've done great, man. That's for sure. You have a great career. I know you're blessed in your, your gratitude towards your career for sure.
Oh, for sure.
And I know the fans love you and everything you do. I'm out at these conventions more than you because I don't get the amount of work you get. So that's my bread and butter is making the fucking poopy doofy face for a living now. Which is what I was going to talk about was, did you know, and look at all these the photos and stuff. And I think I told you this, Creech, that like my first big film was Summit Entertainment. They offered me a lot of money too to play a James Bond spoof. It was a James Bond spoof. It was before Scary Movie, and I was going to be slick James Bond in a tuxedo, but it was right when Austin Powers was huge, and it was a comedy. It was like James Bond, it was a Get Smart, and I was like, well, there's Austin Powers. This is just kind of like another version of it, except that, like he was the good-looking suave version, but he's still an idiot. You know what I mean? It was Inspector Clouseau, but good-looking. And I turned it down. And I'm not going to tell you the number, but it was a real number, the price. And they love it. If you turn something down, then they come at you even harder. And this is how they sweeten the pot. They actually didn't raise the money. They said, "What if you play the bad guy too? We'll have you play the bad guy." And I went, "That's Austin Powers. That's awesome. I can't do like that. Would be like, and I'm the bad guy." Like, but looking back at it, I probably still would have, maybe would have done Scary Movie too, because they weren't really near each other. Because it was like 9 months earlier. But looking back, I'm like, man, if that would have been the role, then I'd be at these conventions, looking suave, sucking the cheekbones in, not going like, like rest of my life now. Pooping my pants, smelling my fingers, like that's the role. That's the iconic, that's the roll of the dice. We're in the business, That's why I asked you what you're known as, like what's the one you had to do.
Well, Night at the Roxbury was big. Dead Man on Campus was pretty big because it was kind of MTV's first movie, right? And I just got, and I got to play, you know, the very showy character from that. I got to play the best character. So
the dead guy? Were you the dead guy?
I was one of the 3 that they were trying to get. Yeah. I was a pretty crazy frat guy. Did you see it, Creech?
Dead Man on Campus, I haven't.
So
I've seen Freddy versus Jason though, and I know you were in that.
Oh, yeah, Freddy. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was like I don't know too much about horror movies, so I didn't realize how big that movie was going to be. Because I never told anyone I was in it because I'm like, I'm not going to tell anyone I'm in a movie called Freddy versus Jason. Like they're going to change that title. That's ridiculous. Came out, made 50 million the first weekend, and you got 15-year-old boys coming up to you going, "I saw your movie 5 times, bro." Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is the horror movies. That's why when I did the Devil's Rejects, that's my first time going out to the horror conventions at like a 10th year anniversary. And but because Scary Movie is a smooth, and really the one place I lucked out was I wore the Ghostface mask.
Yeah.
So the Ghostface, being the Ghostface character, they love the killers. That they love the guys that all the stunt guys that play Jason and Freddy. They're at these tables and they're the nicest dudes in the world. For 6'7". I'm around a lot of 6'7" guys. Robert Mutes is one of them. That's the guy I was stuck with through the airport. We were like the Fantastic 3 getting through, and we didn't have a 4th. We were the Fantastic 3. We used our powers. I was the app guy, and I was like logging in and making the phone calls. Felissa Rose, if you know her, she's got assets of assets. It's like she unbutton a few things and go up to a guy and like, can you get us this and that? And then Robert Mutes is 6'7". He's like, listen, we need a hotel room. They're like, oh, okay. So it's like we worked each other's strengths.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like we had like 10 minutes to get to a connecting flight in Dallas. And I don't know, you know Dallas. It's a huge airport. And I was like, no, we're 10 minutes till they shut the door. So it was like, oh God, we're not going to make it because this was a whole nother. But I was the only one that like, he's 6'7", 50-something years old, 56. And he's got, 6'7", your knees are not working at 30. 56, your knees are done and hips. You know what I mean? So he's like, I'm not going to be able to run. And then she's got like, just she's well endowed. Let's put it that way. So, and she was wearing 5-inch heels, and like she's not running. And that's when I said, listen, I'll go ahead. I'm going to run ahead. And I held the plane. I was like, you ain't shutting this gate. You know what I mean? I was between the gate. There's a gate door, like we're inside the airport, but there's also the door at the airplane. So I was kind of doing that thing where I could see both. Like, don't even go near there. No. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, and I was like, they were this close. I didn't have to hold it that long. But they also knew. They knew our luggage. That's why, by the way, our luggage didn't make it, because that connecting flight was too short. And I knew. I go, our luggage is not going to get over here if Robert Mukes couldn't make it, then a suitcase can't make it. So,
right.
But you probably go to those things, and you have so many great movies and TV shows you're known for. It's like, man, it's like a little different. Like Lillard is Scream, and for sure you Shaggy. Shaggy is, because I'm friends with Lillard, and
he was so good. Yeah,
it's a great role. But the best part of him playing Shaggy versus say Doofy is he gets to go to children's hospitals as Shaggy. Volunteer and go to like the children's hospitals where there's sick kids and really cheer them up, and so that's amazing. That's a prized role because you can turn it into a lot of other things. Doofy, I don't know. I keep I call up. I'm not joking. Like I have a lot of military friends, and they ask me, Veterans Day, can you make a video? And we're sending it to the VA hospital to play on the things, and they're like, yeah. Oh yeah, we played it. Like on this one monitor in the bathroom. Like what that? Look, I'll go entertain the troops. And they're like, we don't want you. No, it's cool. Like you're Doofy. You can go and entertain the Taliban. Maybe. It's tough life, man. I can't even throw out a first pitch.
Take your vacuum to the hills, bro.
Yeah, I hang out a lot with the guys that did what's that? Sandlot, the Sandlot baseball, they're all kids in that, but now they're men. They get to go to all the baseball games.
Yeah, that's
throw out
cool.
First pitches. I'm like, Doofy, no. Where can I go? I don't know. I've got no career. But yeah. So when will people be able to see this John Cena
Oh,
Spin-off.
it's on HBO Max starting in January 2022.
And how many episodes are there?
There's dude, it took us 6 months to shoot 8 episodes. We shot one episode 21 days, bro. 21 days. We shoot Riverdale in 8.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah, well, it's big,
That's
right?
amazing.
It's the biggest production I've ever been on, for sure. And
did
it's
you shoot
fun.
in Vancouver? Where did you shoot that?
Yeah, I got to shoot in Van. Yeah, man.
That's good too, right?
Great, because I
mean, that's
Riverdale shoots here, so I get to be here. I'm still a U.S. resident. I live in Sherman Oaks. I have a place in Sherman Oaks, but I've been up here a lot over the last 5 years.
So your boy and girl, your family they're
up here. Yeah, they're up here now. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in Van, and they went to school here. They went to my wife comes from a pretty Catholic background, so they went to really some good Catholic schools here, and yeah, man. So here we are. So, but yeah, we still have our place in Sherman Oaks, and we'll come back. But it's been a weird year and a half too, right? So it's been a little better for us personally in Vancouver than in LA. So.
In what way? What do you mean?
Well, it just felt like it was, our sort of pandemic. It was a little easier here, but just population. There's only 5 million in the whole province. 6 million in the whole province, right?
Right.
When you think about it, you're like, there's more people in California than all of Canada. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I think Canada did. I mean, I think California did very well in terms of handling, deaths and infections and stuff like that. Our numbers were high, but our population is high. So really, if you look at how we did versus the population, this state did very well. Everyone playing on ball.
There's only so many places that you can social distance when there's so many people. I mean, that's why you think about countries that are on top of each other. Some of the cities in India and China and stuff, man. Like, think of that. Like, think of trying to social distance in China. How do you do that with 1 billion people?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, exactly. And Europe too. Europe is set up. You've been there. It's set up where they have so much open space, but nobody lives there. It's like everything is all still in the cities.
Yeah. And Canada is a bit like that too. When you think about, we have 1/3 more of the landmass than the United States, but everyone in Canada lives right along the border. Right along, So.
You're ready to defend and attack America. I get it. I see what you guys are doing.
No, it's protection, bro. We're not letting anyone through Northern Canada into Northern United States. Yeah. It's all, we're there for you, brother.
Oh, yeah. We don't want those Eskimos coming down. I get it. I see how it works. Yeah.
Hey, the Ruskies will come down through the north, bro.
That's true. I forgot about them. Yeah.
Remember all the movies, all the bad guys.
I love them.
Always Russian. Yeah.
Hey? Well, just like the whole 80s, the whole Cold War. You know what I mean? That's how we won the Cold War, because Russia was like not good at putting out movies. It was like, damn it, you're right. Like, they're right. Look, they beat us. I mean, even those kids in like Red October or whatever it was called. What was it called? Red Dawn. But that must have been so defeating to Russia. Like, God damn it! Like 5 teenage kids that look like Patrick Swayze. And they're good looking. And they beat us with a bow and arrow. Oh my God, what can we do? It's over.
Red Dawn was a great idea. They should remake that.
They did. They did.
They did, yeah.
They did.
Yeah, like almost 10 years ago, I think.
Oh,
around there. It wasn't very good.
Well, hold on. They didn't make it with Russia. So what did they do? They made it with China at that point or something? Because it's still red. Come on, Creech. What's the answer?
I do not know. It's been so long. It was yeah.
So you saw the movie though?
I did.
Well,
I worked at the theater when that came out.
I saw the trailer.
You saw all the movies.
The problem with that film was they took it real serious. That was like a whole. That's when they were doing remakes, but it was like,
oh my God! Hold on. It was a remake with one of the Australian brothers, right? What's his name?
I think so. Yeah, Ian.
Yeah, Hemsworth, right? Was it with Hemsworth?
Yeah, he's the Thor, the one that plays Thor. The Thor one.
I remember. No, it wasn't the one who played Thor. It was his brother.
The one from
I think it was
the one
Chris.
the one that dated
Liam,
Miley Cyrus.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth. That's his name, Liam.
Yeah.
I know all the pop culture. I know all the young hot actors, bro.
You need to. You're on Riverdale. Are you?
Yeah.
So is Riverdale done? Or are you still doing that?
Well, I'm kind of done on it because, well, I don't really know if I'm done, but my character, see, I ended up being the serial killer on this show. That's who the Black Hood is, right? So then they made it out like I died, but no one ever really said that I've died. But I haven't been back for a year, so whatever, you just cruise along.
But it's a soap opera, so you could always come back.
Yeah, it's a comic book. It's soapy. It's whatever, right? I mean, you know what it's like. If you never see a dead body, are you really dead?
Exactly.
Even if you see a dead body, sometimes.
Yeah, and in that show as well, that's very, very well known throughout the bloodline of the Cooper family, as far as like how they set up the show. That there's tons of like twins in our blood genes, so I could come back as a twin. Like, who knows? But
I did that in this movie, Victor Crowley. I killed the bad guy. Spoiler alert. Sorry, folks, but that movie's been out for at least 4 years, right, Creech?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kill the bad guy, Victor Crowley, and I kiss the girl, the final girl. I sacrifice myself. I tackle him into an airplane engine, and I say, the wind is blowing. It looks like Casablanca's fog, and I kiss her, and I go, take care of my identical twin brother. And I just run off and I tackle him. And I improvise the line. And everyone laughed. The crew, like, afterwards, oh my God, that's brilliant. Because I was like, well, how can I come back? This was like the 4th Hatchet movie. So I know there's going to be a 5th. I'm trying to protect how do I come back? Oh, maybe there's a twin brother. But I never watched all the Hatchet movies. Apparently, this guy Perry, who plays the lead, he already had been killed, and he already pulled the twin brother bit. So they're like, oh, we can't do that because Perry's already a twin brother. I'm like, well, why not? You can have a lot of twin brothers. Twins run in this, like you're saying, like we're all by a toxic waste dump or something like that, So, but
you can always go to that, though.
Yeah, but did Jughead have a dad?
Yeah, that's Skeet.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I think that would be Jughead's dad if there was.
You would be.
I had to play a dad. Yeah.
You could have played F.P. Jones for sure. I think
maybe it should be revealed that Jughead's mom hid the truth that I'm his dad and I'm like a carny.
Jughead's mom is Gina Gershon. Gina Gershon? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I worked with her.
Dude, I mean, the parents cast was unreal, right? Like, you had Molly Ringwald and Robin Givens and
unbelievable,
and Suelos and of course Luke. And
honestly, they did a great job with that. They, that was a planned situation of like I said, my daughter didn't watch the show. My wife binged it, and it was because of you guys, not because of the kids. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a 90210. It feels young. So it made her feel like young. She's watching young plots, sophomoric plots, but then she got to watch the people that she knows, as parents. Yeah. So,
for me
very
too.
Smart. Yeah, very smart.
Yeah, they did a good job of kind of bringing in parents that like Robin and Molly Ringwald and people like that who are kind of iconic 80s and 90s stars,
Adam Sandler did a similar thing in one of his last movies, which one was that, Creech? It was a Halloween movie, actually. It was like a Halloween movie.
Oh, QB Halloween?
Yeah, something.
I think that's what it was on Netflix.
You know how Adam does with him and Spade and Kevin James. And well, they're all like, up there in the tooth. And it's sort of like, well, how do we stay pertinent? He went and said, all of us have kids and it's all the Disney kids. He went and cast all the stars from the Disney shows as all the kids. So that was a way to jump into that generate. Like he really, who's really watching it? They're watching it for the kids, but it's like Adam, then we'll tune in and go, oh, okay, it's Adam, So,
it's amazing when you think about the kids from Riverdale because they really are, they are talented. They're
very talented. I've met a lot of them. Very talented.
Yeah. And, but no one other than Cole Sprouse. I mean, gosh, there's kids on Riverdale. That was the first set they'd ever been on. The first set, bro. I'm like, hold on a second, how does that work? I mean, that's my career has been a hell of a lot different than just one TV show. There I go. Let's go. You know, what about the journey, man? Where's the journey? You know, where's the
You're saying they
living
jump.
on couches in people's houses in West Hollywood?
Right.
What happened to that?
That's funny. I mean, from what I know, though, most of the Disney kids and most of the people that are in that kind of 17, 16 have been doing it since they were 9, 10, and have at least had commercials or something like that.
But not really our group. I mean, yeah,
right.
I guess they've been actors for a while, but they haven't. That's their first break, you know.
Right.
I mean, to think of going to think of that show being the first set you've ever been on, that's freaking crazy. And then you go from basically a Starbucks barista to an international TV star in like 13 episodes, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about they were talented.
No, not the Disney
coffee drinks. Yeah, no, I met them and I said they were talented, but I had them make me some Starbucks drinks. It was great.
Oh yeah, well,
talking about the acting.
Hypothetically, I don't know if they did work at Starbucks, but
they're
using that as my analogy, Dave.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, they could be talented both ways.
They could have been working at Home Depot. I don't know.
Lochlyn, didn't you get your?
Wait! Stop! I don't know.
Didn't I what, Creech?
Have you been to Home Depot?
Oh, I love Home Depot, bro. Are you kidding me?
Depot. There are not young people working at Home Depot. There's like the retired old guys who were like he might have been a plumber or he worked for his own hardware store and it got destroyed by the monster Home Depot. And they're just moving around real slow, going like, "Oh, you need But
they're very knowledgeable.
They're knowledgeable. They're knowledgeable of what you need, but they don't know how to find it because the store is so big. You know what I mean? So that's like, so.
You know, when because I like to renovate stuff, and so like I like to build stuff, and
that's what I do.
So when my son was in like 3rd grade, I think the teacher asked everyone what their dads did for a living, and my son told the teacher that I work for Home Depot because I'm there all the time.
Oh,
how funny is that?
That was me. I made a joke one time. I go to Home Depot almost every day, and it's walking distance right here to this house. I actually was more of a Lowe's guy when I was building this one home. Lowe's was just better, and if you get the Lowe's contractor card, you get 5% off everything. But then there's also a QTP where you go to the desk. If you're buying over $1,000 of stuff, they'll take like 20% off. They'll kick you down. So I pretty much built my home at Lowe's. I built a home from the ground up. He knows. That's how I met Creech. I moved to North Carolina in 2014. I sold my house in Marina Del Rey. 2014, I was right there at the present. My son was just going into kindergarten, and I had my daughter in St. Monica's, the Catholic school there in Santa Monica. And I was like, we went up to North Carolina. I'm like, oh, these schools are amazing. What you bang for the buck on houses. It's like, they're gated communities. It was beautiful. My friend produced a show. What was the Claire Danes show? The Homeland.
Okay.
She made Homeland in Charlotte, and she said, "Move out. I'll get you a producer. You'll be on as a producer, and I'll find a recurring role for you. So you'll just, no matter what, you'll always be working for us. But you'll also, if we get a good role for you, you'll get some acting." And then and she's like, when we're not shooting, you can go do other stuff in the area. And this was before Atlanta was just starting. Atlanta was established, but it didn't blow up like it blew up yet because North Carolina still had a tax incentive.
Right.
So there was a lot going on in North Carolina. I moved out, and she goes, I forgot to tell you, like, we're moving to South Africa because they moved production to South Africa. And I'm like, well, I'm not moving to South Africa with my kids. And so I arrived in North Carolina literally like a month after they cut the incentive. They got lost and everything. Then everything went to Atlanta and Savannah and South Carolina. And but I built a house from the foundation up. I mean, I literally hired the cement trucks to come and pour. And so if there's a trade, if you have a question about any trade, I do it all, man.
That's awesome.
So here I gutted this house. House, and now I don't have time to finish it.
Because Skeet's pretty skilled too. Skeet Ulrich. Yeah, really. Like he's got a whole workshop in his garage and stuff, man. He builds like furniture and shit too.
He does the furniture stuff.
Cabinets,
I do everything. I didn't do the cabinets. I do like everything. I do is like barnwood kind of style because it's real forgivable on mistakes. It's like,
Right.
look at this. It's like, you know, I'm kind of in that Chippin, whatever that guy's name, Chippin. I don't know who they are. Like, you know, like,
yeah, Chip. Yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah.
yeah, the Texas thing. So
Um,
I'm
Creech,
surprised though.
sorry, I
Really,
Creech, I jumped on you there, bro. You were saying that I got my start when? How?
Oh yeah, no, I when you were bringing up the, you know, starting your
Sure.
career,
Yeah.
I vaguely remember you being in like some PSAs, like the Sunday special type things where it's like, you know, oh, she's pregnant, and you know, like they would show to people at like guidance offices or something like
No,
that.
bro, that wasn't me.
That was not you?
No, man.
see, he's still
No,
denying
because
the
you
pregnancy.
remember, I
thing.
started out in the business. See, I started out in the business in Canada, and my first TV show, the very first professional job for me, was the first year of 21 Jump Street. So put it this way, bro. I remember being on set of 21 Jump Street, my first day of ever being paid as an actor, and I'm looking around going, wow, this is cool. This is cool. Like I'm getting paid to my first job. Guy touches me on the shoulder, goes, hey, bro, I'm just going out to grab a Coke. Can I get you anything? And I said, no, I'm good, thanks. He goes, oh, hey, I'm Johnny. And I went, oh, hi, Johnny, I'm Lochlyn. And he walked away from me, and I remember going, man, I don't know what a movie star is, but that guy sure looked like one. That was the first time I met Johnny Depp, and no one knew who he was yet, right? Because the show had.
Yeah.
You called it. You called it. So you discovered
So I
Johnny
basically
Depp.
I jump started his career.
You 21
But
jump started
I
his
never
career. You 21.
I never met a
jump
Johnny
started his
Depp on my first movie.
No.
No,
What was
Strip
your
Club
first-
Massacre.
Oh, Strip Club
Yeah.
Massacre. One of the greats.
career. One of the greats.
Hey, have you ever done a movie called Mother May I Sleep with Danger?
That's I like the movie.
Have you ever done a movie called She Woke Up Pregnant?
Yeah, I have
No.
done that.
I was the king of TV movies in the 90s, bro. Before Hallmark.
Nice.
I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like you get a lot of unplanned pregnancy
Ugh.
situations.
Moment
Let
of
me ask you,
truth.
actually, here's one though. Have you ever played a hockey player in a movie? Because I know you're big
No,
on the hockey.
you know, it's funny. I went in and I remember I was
you didn't
cool
get
for
goons,
Miracle.
those goons?
For Miracle,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Goons, I don't know why I didn't get a crack at Goons.
Oh my God, you would have been so perfect, right? You know,
like.
You
And
are a
then
goon.
when they did Mystery Alaska, that was the one that I was like, I went in, had a meeting. This guy, Howard Baldwin, who was the producer of the movie, he used to own the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't think he does anymore. I walked in, I'd done lots of charity events for the NHL, and so I knew him and he knew me. And when I walked in, he was like, hey, Lochlyn. And he looks at Jay Roach and he goes, hey, now here's a hockey player. And I thought for sure I was going to end up in that movie. And so I didn't really go out to all the hockey tryouts and all this shit they were doing in Van Nuys, and I think probably I should have, because I think if I'd have gone out, they would have saw the difference between a guy who, you know, because I was fortunate enough to play a high level of hockey, but they would have been able to see the difference between an actor trying to look like a hockey player and a hockey player trying to look like
trying to be an actor. Yeah, okay, got you. You backed yourself into that.
Hey, you got some great, but man, you're not very good. You're a good skater, but I don't know if we can give you any lines.
Stick with the hockey.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I've never been. I mean, even like, you know, when we shot Little Man and Marlon and I had those scenes Sean and I had scenes at in the hockey game, right? Those are all friends of mine that were all playing in that game, and so know, in between takes, I'd go out. I had all my gear. I had all my shit in their dressing room, and I'd go out on the ice with them and stuff. And yeah.
Well,
That's awesome.
You did? You like afterwards or before?
No, like in between. Fuck, whenever I could.
Holy
You know,
shit.
if I knew I wasn't in the next scene, then I'd just go jump
Yeah.
on the ice and fuck around.
Couldn't you just throw on skates and just grab I mean, you didn't like.
That's
you
what
didn't
I
say
did.
Gear. It was just skates and gloves, maybe at most, right? I mean, like, or just,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Yeah, like,
I didn't put all
what
my
about
gear.
Mighty Ducks? Didn't they just redo Mighty Ducks? That would have been perfect for
The
you too.
the TV show, yeah, and it's all my friends who produce it. It shoots in Vancouver. They actually built a mini rink in a soundstage, bro. Unreal. Like we play hockey.
So,
but
there's
only
one
one guy I could have played in there, and apparently Emilio Estevez wanted to play it. So
He did. He came back.
He's in it. Yeah, he's in it.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, he
interesting.
came back as the coach.
Yeah, but if they're still shooting that, there might be something in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you go in.
You would be. I think you would kill it as like the nemesis coach guy. You know what I mean? With the with the real expensive team that rolls in who has a bus and just like all the funding that they need. So So what? Hey, one of the things really quick, Creech, was in shooting Scary Movie. The one scene I remember shooting with you, and because I remember I did a lot of the stunts as the killer behind.
Yeah.
And there was one where I kicked you in the balls a bunch of times. You remember? And you had this strap. You put this like, I don't know what they call that thing. It was like a strap that was like, oh, it's just gonna protect you. And I had to kick on the balcony. You turn on the balcony and I'm.
Oh, did you kick me in the balls on the balcony? I thought you just slit my throat.
I think they cut it. But you were wearing like this, you wore a thing.
Oh.
You wore this sort of thing on your ankles that went up. It was just like a strap that went up so that for when I would kick, it would stop like a stirrup, almost like a stirrup. You know what I mean? They were like wrapped around your feet.
Why don't I remember that?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was you because it was you in the scene. And I think it was like, you were a little like, is this going to work? I was going like, hey, how the fuck? That's interesting. Like go for it. Try it.
I remember being on the balcony and just riffing, as you always know. It's like you're always just riffing because that's what they wanted. It's like it's like, okay, do the scene the way we wrote it. Okay, now do it a bunch of different ways.
Right.
That whole movie was so improv. It was hilarious, man.
That was a local movie for you, Connie. Like you stayed at home, right? You basically didn't stay.
Well, I mean, I was living in LA when I booked it, but I got because I've always had a house in Vancouver. So when I came up here, they had me at the hotel with all you guys.
Okay.
And I told them, I said, I don't need a hotel room. I have my house. And they're like, well, Keenan wants everyone to have a room. Dude, I had an empty room at the Sutton for 3 months. Empty. Right. I used to give the keys to my friends and go, hey, if you want to go down and use the Sutton for whatever, go for it. Here's the keys. What a waste of money. I was like, what,
Yeah.
So weird shit like that, man.
Because I didn't know I can't remember if you were in the van with us every morning. I don't think you were because. So
I self-drove and everything. That's kind of like the one downfall for me when I shoot in Vancouver, because honestly, like the cast is at the hotel. You guys kind of go out, you bond a lot. I don't, it's hard for me to do that because I'm at my house, I'm at home, I have my kids here, and so it's a different thing, right? It's not like I'm on the road in a sense, even though I am, but it's not like even when I shot White Chicks here, like. Everyone else hung out. There was always lots of stories, but I didn't really because I was here.
I wasn't aware they shot White Chicks in Vancouver. That's interesting.
Well, they shot a lot. They shot all of it here, except for when it rained for about a month straight while they were doing the green screen stuff, and then the Wayans got too depressed and moved the green screen to Universal Studios.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I remember that seemed very bright and sunny, you know what I mean? Like, I thought they were in a southern state somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, it was all here.
Yeah.
Some of those days like when Sean chased down the purse snatcher and stuff like that, that was all out. And I don't think you ever shot out there in Little Man, even in a town called Chilliwack, but it was so cool. Like they always pick the fall to shoot their movies in Vancouver, and then they complain about the weather. I'm like, guys, you're missing it by 3 months, man. Like, start your movie in July. Why do you always start your movies in November or October? That's when it gets shitty here.
Yeah. No, Little Man, I remember because I was watching the Olympics no, we shot that, dude. That was January, February. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because my daughter was born.
Oh, you're right.
My daughter was only a couple weeks old. Yeah.
Do you remember, in Little Man, do you remember the football scene that I had where I was beating the shit out of all the kids?
Yeah.
Right. So they actually there was so much fog. They had to have like these air vacuum, these big air hoses sucking the fog out of that scene because it was so like really cold and misty. And I remember that. That's funny. Yeah, you're right, Dave. I guess
my dog wanted to get on the show. Hey guys, gotta go away. We're shooting. All right. I don't know if you can see them. They're fucking so silly. They were licking me.
You're just trying to show your crotch for a minute there. I was like, oh.
Oh, that too. Yeah. I didn't even know that.
You're just trying to show us you weren't wearing pants,
I
bro.
wasn't wearing pants. Oh no, but we're it's like, and also the name of the town is Chilliwack. So
Chilliwack, yeah.
If you got chill in the, you might know it's a little cold.
You got chilled in Chilliwack, man.
The one thing I remember about going to Vancouver with Scary Movie was there was days off and we're like, oh, where do we want to go? And we went all the way up to whatever that, where the skiing
Whistler.
is, the mountain.
Yeah, Whistler, yeah.
And there was lumberjack competitions going on, right?
Oh, in Squamish.
Yeah, and there was guys like running up the tree, and they were doing the sawing thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, well, it's kind of like nobody had any favorite. Nobody picked somebody, and I said, I'm just gonna pick this guy, and I'm gonna heckle the other guy, And I was like, so it was almost like golf. Everybody there was very gentleman, like watching the person saw, like, and I was like, it's a violent sport. Like, let's get the fucking, thing. I'm like, come on, Kenzie, fuck you. I was just like getting into the thing. And then and the guy, he was getting mad because I guess they were never used to someone heckling them. And he turned to me with, and I was like, oh, now I know why they don't heckle them. Oh yeah, he's got an axe. I see. Okay, hey, it's okay.
And a chainsaw. And he's a big freaking logger.
Yeah, I'll let you go. Let you do your thing. I'll let you.
Yeah, go ahead. That's funny, bro. I was born in that town that you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Squamish,
where
yeah.
that was.
Remember Squamish?
Yeah, Squamish.
Yeah.
You got a lot of. I'm going to see John Abrams. The reason we came up, because Creech reached out, was I'm going to see John Abrams this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen him in years. But he's
I
going to
know they asked me if I wanted to come down and do that with you, but I'm doing a film right now, and I bookend the weekend, my days this week. So I'm shooting nights on Friday, and then I'm right back on Monday. So I just didn't really have.
There's no way.
No,
especially in Tennessee, to go that far in Tennessee.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and if it was Chicago or Seattle, yeah, maybe. But I can't do like all these indirect flights. I just too hard. Especially
here's
right
the thing. This is John's first convention, and
forever.
Yeah, forever. This is his first one. So
why was he so hesitant?
I don't think anyone's ever asked him, dude. I don't
Get
think
out.
No, Creech, tell him we did a podcast like this.
Yeah.
And I said, which one have you done? Have you been out? And he goes, I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to get out. And what's funny was then I booked them, and then I'm getting calls from all these agents going, could you put me in touch? And I was like, no, because I'm like, I told John, I go, why don't you just do this one and see how you like it, see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I could get him in like a handful. He doesn't need to get, because these agents are, that world is real, it's just, I don't like it so much. And I'd rather just say, why don't you just learn what it's like, and then if you want to go sign with an agent, you can meet them by doing these things before you get involved with someone. It's like, kind of scummy or whatever.
Weren't you and I rep by the same guy for a bit? Did Chris Carbaugh used to send you out?
Okay, so they are the ones. It was Chris and Stacy did, because they were out of Philadelphia, and that's where I grew up. So they did. I went out. I did about 7 with them, and on air, I'm not going to say why I stopped working with them. Great people. They're very nice people. I don't have a problem with them, as people. There was a business situation that happened, and I didn't want to be involved in. Well, it was short, without getting any details, is in that business with these conventions and the guys that run the conventions, and the bookers, and the guys that run the conventions are bookers themselves. And there's a lot of this weird. There's so much politics that you're not. I'm like, hey, I just want to put a headshot down and sign. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not. Don't get me in this high school situation,
Right.
So that's why But I also, when I did the Devil's Rejects one, it was the first time I noticed that I didn't even know what these things were. And I said, the horror community are really fervent and they're really loyal. And I said, let me go out and do some more horror movies. Because I had so many comedies, and people would come to my table. They know the comedies, but they only want Devil's Rejects. Right. And I was like, well, let me go out and play more killers. That's what I've been spending the last sort of 5 years, is just doing these. They're all independents. You never know if one of these horror movies is going to do well, but
Right.
it's a lot of blood and guts and stuff, and I kind of enjoy it. I kind of I'm not a horror fan, and they know that. I've been straight with all these panels
same as
saying
when I
I
did
don't watch
Freddy
a lot of
versus
horror movies.
yeah, same
Yeah.
as when I did Freddy versus Jason. They kept getting mad at me on set because I kept mispronouncing Jason Voorhees' name.
What
I
would,
used to
how would
call,
you
I
say
used,
it?
I would say him Voorhees, Jason Voorhees, and they're like,
that is
cut, it's Voorhees,
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
like,
no. Well, how you say it is proper. Voorhees. Voorhees. Yeah,
really?
it's from France. Yeah, it's down. It's French.
Oh.
Yeah, but
But they
you're
told me I was saying
you
it
say it
wrong.
right because of the French Canadian aspect. You know how to say Voorhees right. So
Right.
all these years, right, Creech, they've all had it wrong, and I'm going to
But
reprimand them.
here's the funny thing. You know what? For years, I was always asked to do these conventions, and I didn't really think about it. And when I went and did a little arc on what was a show that shot in Florida? Shit, I can't remember the show, bro.
Was it a horror movie?
Anyhow, no, it's a TV show. Jeffrey Donovan was the lead of it. Shot in Miami. Anyhow,
Miami CSI thing or something?
no, something.
I know
like
the
that.
one you're talking about. I know.
Yeah, you know who I mean. Anyhow, he was on there with okay,
Bruce.
Bruce, yes, that's the show.
Yes.
So I was
what
down
is that
there.
show, Creech? The
I
Bruce
do not
Campbell,
know.
Everglades.
Bruce
He had a big
Campbell and
show.
Jeffrey Donovan were the leads of it. Come on,
I know of it. It was on AMC, right?
Man, you're really you're
it was
slipping.
hold
on. I can get another co-host if you don't know this stuff, man. I mean,
come on, Creech, you gotta know all this. Creech, pull up my IMDb. It was
Creech,
about. Now he's gone.
They were like,
Okay,
yeah.
so what happened was
I love that show.
the guy doing craft service is a guy who does those big conventions in Orlando called Spooky Empire. Have you done those?
Pete. His name's Pete. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was doing craft service, and he came up to me and he goes, "Hey, bro, have you ever done any conventions?" And I go, "Nah, I don't really know too much about them." He goes, "Well, listen, I do one in Orlando. Why don't you come out? I'll set your table up for you. I'll fly you out." And so I went out. I did it, and I thought, honestly, I really had a good time. I was quite amazed at how much I enjoyed myself, and so that was kind of the first time I ever did it.
Yeah, Pete. That's one of the biggest ones, though. That's a big one. Texas Frightmare, Monster Mania in Cherry Hill. And that's the thing. Like I was telling John Abrams is like, I when I first started, Chris and Stacy only put me in the big ones, and I wasn't prepared. And I was like, and then I ran into some of these people that do all the smaller ones, and they're like, no, you do the small ones. I know that it's a suitcase racket, suitcase motel racket, but that builds this sort of like machine. So when you go to a Texas Frightmare, all of a sudden it's like you have this, you know what you're doing, how to do, you know what I'm saying? Versus you getting caught off guard, going, oh, I did that thing, and because some of the bigger ones they can't have you back every year. You know what I mean? They're like, you do it, and then they want to bring in new things, but Pete runs a good one.
I think the show you're talking about, by the way, I just looked it up, was Burn Notice.
Burn Notice. That's it,
right.
Bro. Yeah.
Yes.
Burn Notice. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. So how often are you down in America, man? Just if there's a role, you come down?
Over the I go in and out whenever I have to have meetings and shoot. That's sort of how I've been rolling the last 5 years.
Yeah.
This last year and a bit have been really weird because of the quarantine in Vancouver.
Right.
I don't have 14 days to quarantine, right? Because of the jobs I've been. But now that I'm double vaccinated, I don't have, as a Canadian citizen, which will also be for Americans come August 20th or something. If you've been double vaccinated, you don't have to quarantine anymore.
Wait, hold on. Let's clarify that. You're saying double vaxxed, if you're fully vaccinated, no quarantine up in Canada, or are you saying in America too for SAG? You're saying
well, in America, I can fly into the States, no problem. I just can't drive. You can't drive across the borders yet, right? But you can fly. Now, if I believe, like I could be wrong, but I don't think there's ever been a quarantine situation from Canada to the U.S. It's only just been from the U.S. to Canada. So basically, so what they did is about a month ago or so, they like, because a lot of Canadians want to, they want to vacation in LA. They want to vacation in Hawaii and stuff. And the problem is that if you vacationed in Hawaii, you had to come back and quarantine for 14 days. Now, if you're double vaxxed, you don't have to. All you have to do is make sure you have a negative test when you come in. And then I think you have to just have one more negative test like within 2 days, and then you're good to go. And so that started end of July for Canadians. And now that will be the border situation for double vaxxed Americans come like August 21st or something.
Okay.
So productions over the last year and a bit, productions have had to, if someone came up to Vancouver to do a guest star, they have to come 2 weeks early and quarantine in a hotel, bro.
For a guest star.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Why would they just not? That's got to be great for Canadian actors because
it was good for a lot of local Canadians for sure, whether they be directors, actors, whatever. Yeah. Because yes, it just opened it up more for the fact that, I mean, that was a lot of big extra expense for productions because the hotel situation, per diem
that's
situation.
14 days.
Then what do you do? It's like, so you're going to pay? Are you going to are they making top a show each week for while they're sitting in the hotel? I don't know, but that's it, and then they got to be here for another 10 days to shoot the episode. So like an episode of TV, all of a sudden you're here for a month and you're sitting in your hotel room for 2 weeks.
Right. That's fine. We have Michael Cudlitz on our show a lot. Do you know Cudlitz at all? He was
I don't know him. I don't know him personally, but I think I've met him a couple times.
Yeah, you know who he is though, and so he got cast as a regular on this Clarice. I think it's a CBS show. Yeah. And so he went up there. We did a bit. We had him on while he was in quarantine. He, in the hotel room. We have him on our podcast. And see, Michael. Michael's a guy that if he doesn't get exercise, he could put on the weight, especially like a couple beers a night and watching TV. He was like, I showed up. They're like, yeah, great, get in the thing. And he's like, I don't know what they're gonna think of me when I get out of this quarantine. He was like, he's like, I think I put on 20 pounds while I've been in this hotel room.
Redo my wardrobe fitting.
He was loving it. He's like, I'm in my underwear all day watching TV and eating room service. So it's that was kind of a funny thing. So so what's not? I would say what's next for you, but. What is something, I'm not saying you're reaching the end of your career, but you've had a huge career, huge. I mean, we're talking 21 Jump Street is the 80s. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, you're like 4 decades in right now of working. You know what I mean? That sounds a lot, but it's impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take it the wrong way. Don't take it as like, you're old, but congratulations is what I'm saying. Like, there's very few people that can say they've been working and you've also worked with Clint Eastwood. I think you've worked with Clint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. Like he's one of the kings. I mean, that guy's like 60, 70 years in. You know what I mean? What's on the bucket list for this part of in the entertainment side? Not a bucket list of personal things, but like, is there things you haven't done that you're, I want to do this, I want to do that, roles or directing?
Yeah, I'd like to be in one. It sounds weird to say, but it'd be really cool to be in one of those big tentpole movies, wouldn't it? Like it'd be like I'm talking about, like for instance, chatting with James Gunn while we were shooting Peacemaker. He's getting ready to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it's like $300 million budget. This movie,
right?
I'm like, how crazy would it be to be in one of those really big films like that, Yeah. But, I don't know, man. Like, you're always trying to balance that commerce and art and what you really want to do and what's reality. And, and as right, we're in a gig job, so there's never any security. I mean, maybe there's security for that upper echelon Matt Damon sort of 1% tile of actors, but we go from gig to gig, right? And I've been very fortunate. It's all it's what I've done for 30 odd years, but there's still that sort of stress level on your back. And so I remember back in the days of like the TV shows Stargates and stuff, which would shoot in Canada, and I'd have an opportunity to do these shows, and then I think I don't really want to be on a TV show for 8 years though. Like I'm kind of enjoying the movies and stuff. But now, bro, I'm like, if they came at me and said, hey, we're going to do a Stargate India or something, I would consider it, because I just like to have a little bit of peace of mind right now, or like just kind of like just know that I have this job and my kids are going to school. And so that sort of, I think about that a lot. But then, you know, as an artist, you're always like, wouldn't it be great to be in a movie like 26 grams, or wouldn't it be cool to be in Sicario? And, you know, you're thinking about all this cool shit, right? And,
Right.
But, you know, as you know, it's freaking competitive to be in good projects. It's not easy.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. The interesting thing is with our age, and I'll say we're in the same bracket. I think you might be a little older. I think you were the oldest actor on set.
Do you remember when we did the table read and I improv the line? Yeah, and they'll get people that are in their 30s to play us. Because I was 34 when I did Scary Movie, bro.
That's crazy. Playing an 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, and Abrams was 18. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
John was like 20 or whatever. I remember I did that too. Like I was pretty old for Bubble Boy, and Jake Gyllenhaal was 17.
Yeah.
And Marley Shelton, they were like 8, like they were young, and I was older, and it was like I'm playing the same like character, you know. But it was like, it was funny. But so you're, you know, I don't even know where it happened. I just
so you're saying sort of where do your careers go that we're now at the age we're at? Yeah, I mean,
that was it. Yeah, that was it. Hold on, is so we reach a certain age, and there's a short list. They always go, well, you're not on the short list, but they got to go through the short list of offers. So, and all of a sudden it's like, and first of all, some of these projects, they, you know, I'm like it's like, look, I just want to play the cop. And it's like, well, they're going out to Will Ferrell and Jack Black first. It's like, they're not going to do it. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, and it's like, okay, good, take your time, go through all those. Like, and then eventually it'll get to me, and it's like, okay, can you put yourself on tape or something? Yeah. I go, really? But it's that thing of the older you get, then you are competing against people with resumes. When you're younger, you're actually competing against your talent. It is talent to talent at that point, or look, like, is this what we're looking for? But once you get up to a certain range, you're like, oh, there's names with value. And now I'm at that waiting game of like, when are they going to retire? Because there's a point where they've got enough, and it's like, yeah, now they're not doing it, and all of a sudden now you get your in. You know what I mean? So I look at like, okay, when at 70, I'm the guy still going, I need to work. When at 70, Jack Black's like, he owns an island somewhere. So it's like, okay, that's when I'm going to get that grandfather. See,
we're the guys that are going to be in Cocoon 5, bro.
Right, exactly.
Right? Like
exactly.
I am the next Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, we're not getting Cocoon. We're not getting Cocoon 4, but we're going to get Cocoon 5.
We'll be in 5.
How many have they made? I thought they only made 2.
I think they've made 3, haven't they? I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. I know.
Maybe we'll be in Cocoon 8, bro. Hey, listen, I look at it this way. I feel, bro, honestly, for me, I feel like it's opening up a bit more. Like I'm finally able to play everything, right? Because I was always that like younger looking Arrested Development guy. I was, you know, playing crazy frat dudes when I was 30s and stuff. So now I feel like I agree with you. Yeah, you know, you always have, you know, when you get up to this age, bro, everyone is good. Right. Like you're not out acting people when you put yourself on tape. It's just, you know, they're like, okay, well, we're going to go through these guys, blah, blah. You know, but at least now I feel like I've had enough life experience, and I feel like I'm looking older, and I've got a little bit of roadmap now, and it just kind of shows in my work maybe a bit more. So I feel like I have an opportunity to really kind of step out and do a lot of other things now. You know, so, but I hope, you know,
I know we're nearing the end of the show, but I know we were talking about a podcast guest or co-host earlier, and I see that he's here. Hopefully he hasn't been waiting too long, but I do want to introduce you to Steven. Yeah.
You want to bring him on?
He's here.
Bring him on. Okay. Yeah, bring him on, because we'll keep him on when Lochlyn takes off.
Hey, guys.
But I don't even know what he looks like. Wait, I didn't know that's what you look like. I don't even know. I've never met you before. What are you, the Dark Lord?
Just a couple times. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
Just waking up.
I'm not much, just sitting here in the background watching.
You look like a kind of guy that's got like a saltwater aquarium and a 6-foot bong in your place. I bet you do, right? Come on.
No, I can't hit the bong anymore. It's too tough on the lungs, man.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, where you at?
just-
Where you? Did people,
Las Vegas.
Oh, you're in Vegas. Do people call you Sleeps,
Yeah.
or is it? Do we have to say Sleep Away, Steven?
No, you can call me Steven. That's just my Instagram handle.
Okay. Cool. All right. Nice to meet you, Steven.
Hey,
I'm
no.
Locke.
No, it's nice to
Yeah.
meet you too, man. It's
I never even knew your name was Steven. I just call you Sleepaway because you're always sleeping. Is that why it's called Sleepaway? Because you wake up at noon?
hey.
In Vegas, man. He doesn't even go to sleep.
I
It's
know
true, it's
exactly.
Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Hey,
Sadly.
actually, I do have a question for Steven. Steven, do you get called Steve, though? Can we call you Steve? Or what's the deal?
Steven, it's whichever. I'm used to it.
Okay. No, I didn't know. No, but do you like being called Steve? And I call you Steve.
Yeah, man, you're fine. So
Okay,
you
good,
you can call me. Just don't call me for a loan.
Yeah. Well, why do I have you on here? Well, hey, this is Steven's first podcast with us. You know, we're adding
cool,
him in.
man.
I've met Steven at some conventions. He's super. He's a witty kid and funny and a good soul. And one of the reasons is that I think people know, Lochlyn, just to let you know, with my schedule, I started doing a podcast with Creech, and I'm the one always holding it up because it's like I can't do it. So I was like, why don't we just, if I bring in Steve, and then maybe there's always going to be 2 out of 3 available.
Right.
You know, because Creech also acts in movies and he has a job.
Yeah.
And then we found out Steven doesn't do anything. So
No,
all we
I'm
have to
pretty
do is wait
open.
for him to wake up, and we know we have one guy on the show. Yeah. I know he details his mom's car a lot. You detail your mom's car a lot.
Oh man, you just making me look bad here.
Steven, thanks for joining us late. Do you know Lochlyn?
I was here.
Lochlyn's work. You know Lochlyn?
A little bit of it. I mean, Dead Man on Campus, scary movie,
There you go.
obviously. I'll say, but you know, I was looking at your IMDb and was like, "Holy shit, you've got 252 titles under your belt." So you've been at this a minute, man.
4 of those are good. So it's really good.
That's generous, bro.
I think he said I slept. One of them was I slept with a relative or something like. What was that one? It was like I woke up pregnant. I woke up pregnant.
But you know, I am a huge scary movie fan, though. It is a movie I do watch kind of regularly. You know, it's just a good comfort background movie. But,
it's good.
You know,
family
I
entertainment.
always laugh.
That's a go-to. That's a
I saw a
go-to
scary movie
as
when
well.
I was 13.
13, you saw it?
That was the first rated R movie I saw in theaters. Not to make you feel old or anything.
No, it's funny because I remember when the movie came out, I had moms come up to me and go, "I took my son to that movie, and it was very inappropriate." And I was like, "Well, there's a big R in the bottom of the corner of the fucking poster. Like,
right?
What do you want me to say?" The only downfall for the Wayans family was that people bought tickets to other movies and snuck into Scary Movie, and they lost out on a lot of box office.
Yeah,
but you know that
the
Scary Movie was the highest grossing rated R movie ever up until The Hangover. Did you know that, Creech?
Right.
I did.
Well,
that's cool.
Yeah, but it still would be the highest grossing. It was ticket price too. That's the problem. You got to factor in ticket price for ticket sales
and screens, right? I mean, look at how many screens there are across the country now, man. Wow.
Right.
So I mean, DVD is where the Wayans family bought all their islands.
Right.
Yeah. Like the DVD market was crazy, man. Wow.
They got in while there was still DVDs. Now I don't even know what there is. There's just streaming. Now it's just like
I think the DVD
everything's on
market
YouTube somewhere for free.
Right. And the DVD market back then was, I think someone told me, was 75% of the studio's gross came from DVD back in those days. Yeah. They made tons of.
Would their comedy even have a place in today's world?
I mean, it's probably a lot tougher to make comedies nowadays, for sure.
Well, and what he's talking about is the really un-PC You know,
Right.
like the un-PC comedy, some like the material in Scary Movie, even Doofy, just to let you know. And I'm ready for it. I've tried to push Doofy into. I'll let you guys know this, and Steve, and you know this. Creech, you've both been at my conventions. I have a lot of mentally disabled, mentally challenged people come up, love me, like they love what I do, like they embrace me. They're not offended by
Right.
way I play Doofy, but it is just a matter of time. I've seen little chatters here and there where it's a matter of time before Doofy's probably canceled. The interesting thing about Doofy was he became a meme. He became a meme he's the new Alfred E. Newman of the millennial, because he represents, like they have the Mark Zuckerberg face on Doofy now, or, whatever it is. So, but when you did Scary Movie and they took a photo of your penis for the I was joking, not his penis, but your character has that small penis, that Polaroid. Stephen was the actual one that
was.
By the way, Stephen posted that on
a
Instagram.
Polaroid
He
of
posted
you,
that on
Sharon.
Instagram. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I didn't want people to know that. I was your stunt. I was your stunt penis.
Yeah.
We call it
Stunt cock.
peenie. It was so the stunt. Well, it's not quite a cock. Did you see the thing? It's like that. But how did that go over? You're like, oh my god, like I have to. I really. Did you ever have to go? That's really not me. Oh, that's not
Dude,
me. Or people are gonna know that's not me.
Okay, so when they first showed me the Polaroid, it was like Keenan. Like I improv pretty much the whole scene walking around the locker room. So I was just thinking about stuff I was going to say, and they went, "Oh, by the way, here's the Polaroid." And I looked at it and I went, "Oh my god!" And I handed it back to them. I was like, "Holy shit!" Right? And it was real. Like it was someone who posed for that. That was like, from what I heard, it was someone on the crew. Someone on the crew posed for that. And I didn't even think of it, man, because I had too much going on in my head. What I was, like the scene I was going to do, how I was going to play it. I had all that. It wasn't until the junkets that we did for the movie that it was like 3 days of every 4 minutes, them ushering in a reporter and everyone talking about the Polaroid. And I didn't even think about it because it was so in and out of my mind real quick. But yeah, man, now it's like this whole like thing, right? So
yeah, because for you and me, you watch the movie and it's that quick. But for everyone else, they grip onto the certain things, and that's like, it's like, how do you let that go? But you're like, oh crap!
Oh, I still harass my friends with that stuff.
Yeah,
like just feel like texting them out of nowhere, like boom, there you go. 2 a.m. I'm bored. Let's text a buddy.
And it's still you fire them that photo,
and it's still just as funny as when we were teenagers.
That's awesome.
He's the one that posted it. Steven posted it on my Instagram, and I actually forgot about it. It got a lot of. I couldn't believe how much response it got. So funny.
And thank you for responding to it, Lochlyn. That was wonderful.
I guess that's how we get to him. He had to defend it. Have you ever done? What is the darkest role you've ever done? Like the most.
I played a pretty dirty cop in a movie with Martin Sheen called Badge of Honor. It was myself, Mina Suvari, Jesse Metcalf. It was pretty dark. Yeah. I guess I mean, once it was revealed that I was the Black Hood character on Riverdale, that was kind of a dark. It was interesting because then I went to prison and we did these prison scenes with the girl who plays my daughter. And it was basically set up like Clarice and Hannibal Lecter. I was kind of like a Hannibal Lecter character in this glass cell, and all the scenes were shot a lot like Silence of the Lambs. So that was kind of interesting.
Oh, cool.
But
cool.
yeah. So that's
have you ever done anything that, like, at the end of the night, you're like, I need to take a crying game shower and cause you to drink? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, have you ever had a character like that dark? No, right?
No.
I hope you don't. I hope you don't. I did. Because like with these horror movies, I'm like, yeah, I want to challenge myself. And Creech, did you see Bloodcraft? Did either of you guys see Bloodcraft?
Yes, I've seen it.
Haven't seen it.
You've seen it. Then you know what I'm talking about, right, Creech?
It's a little gross.
I played a priest who is a pedophile to his kids. And I had to do scenes with a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old girl. And then I had to give an abortion to the girl, one of their 13-year-olds. And it was just, I don't know what I was getting into. It was not good. And that's when I realized, like, that is not for me. I like comedy. Like, I could not go home. I had to, it was tough. So, because I like to crack jokes on set, and there was no way to do that anymore.
Yeah. See, it's hard for me. Whenever I do dark drama, I like, it's always the comedy comes out, and I have to sometimes remember I got to pull it back because maybe other actors on the set really need to sort of find their place. I don't need to. I'm like, I can goof around, and then when I hear a slate clap, I just go into the character. But some people, you got to respect some other people's processes, right? And so I have to remind myself of that.
That's what it was like on that set for me. It wasn't so much me. I wasn't going like, ooh, hey, gotta stay in it. I actually I had a lot of jokes, and I remember biting my tongue. But and my stuff is nervous reaction. That my humor comes from a defensive mechanism anyway. So like those jokes were me alleviating my own neurosis that was what was happening. But I was like, oh, the set was so quiet, so serious in the turnarounds. We're turning around, and there was these girls, and I go, I'm not gonna, and their parents are there, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna, I gotta, it was eggshells basically on the set. I didn't like that part.
What was the movie Keitel played, where he was that really dirty cop?
I know the one you're talking about. Bad Lieutenant. Yeah, Bad Lieutenant.
Okay, so think of that, man, that's dark. Like the shit he did in that movie.
Yeah, that's a scarring movie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I think of like those actors that do that, and then you hear stories of them on set, like, oh, he blew up, or he's drinking in his trailer, and I go, now that I went through that, I go, I actually can see how some of that can happen, because it's not fun to do that stuff. Especially if you're really taking it serious as an actor. If you're sort of trying to tap into letting that read through on the screen is real. So, So Steven, you're in late. We've already had we pretty much did everything.
We've done the show.
I was here watching in the background. I was just waiting to be bumped over. Yeah.
Wait, how long were you on?
Yeah, I was like in an hour.
What? Creech, did you know you were in there for an hour?
I didn't. It was when you asked me to check on Bruce Campbell's filmography that I'd noticed that he was in here. So that's when
Well, we apologize.
No big deal.
That's the way it goes, though.
No,
One time I was in Lochlyn, just to let you know, and actually she lives in. Wait, she's in Vancouver, isn't she? Chelsea Green, the wrestler.
Yeah, she's Canadian. Yeah,
she
lives
on Cook Island, maybe, or somewhere, right? Where is she at?
Yeah, that's where she said she lived like 12 minutes away or whatever from the high school y'all shot at.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's on Vancouver Island. She's in Victoria.
Vancouver Island. Yeah. She's a past WWE wrestler. I think now what does she wrestle with now?
I think now she's with Ring of Honor or Impact.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, Impact. And Creech is a big wrestling. He's our wrestling side of the contingency, so he brings on a lot of the wrestlers, and especially the female wrestlers. And I know he has crushes on them. And I'm in the waiting room, and I could see the show, and I'm texting him, Creech, I'm in the waiting room, and he's just like, and he's just talking to her. I'm like, come on, man, like get me on the show. It's like I was on there for an hour watching him like drool.
You were like on there for like 10 minutes.
And he won't let you in. He knows you're there. He knows you're there, Sheridan, and he won't let you in. Though.
Then again, if Sheridan would show up on time,
That's right.
He was forever late. Always late on Scary Movie, bro. Always waiting.
I was. I cost the film a lot of money, but it made them think of let's get it right. Let's get it right. I was probably responsible for the film being good because they rethought things. We got time.
Well, because you were always so late, they had time to really think about the shots. So that's why the movie turned out really well. They had extra prep time.
Yeah, no, like they were like, I was 2 hours late to set at the police station, but they were shooting in a parking lot. And they go, wait, what if we shoot inside in the police station? Because they thought of that finally. And I was like, you wouldn't have thought about that if I wasn't late.
Yeah.
Shoot the police station inside the police station. Yeah, well, so I hope, listen, if John's down to do more, man, I would love to. I think it would be fun, the three of us to do something. I think it'd be fun. I see Matt and Skeet out. They're out currently. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be fun if it was a Scream thing and a Scary Movie thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the five of us.
The movie and the spoof, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I remember reading for Officer Dewey in the original Scream movie, bro.
Right, for the one Arquette got.
Yeah. And back then it was called Scary Movie.
Oh yeah, a lot of people know that, and a lot of people don't know that. Is that like, say Jamie Kennedy? I've worked with Jamie Kennedy, and he had his back of his thing, and it says Scary Movie.
Okay.
And the back of our chairs say Scream, if you know what I did last Halloween.
Right.
They're completely, you know what I mean? It's sort of like his says Scary Movie and mine says Scream on it. So
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's what the title was, wasn't it? The working title of the movie when we were shooting
was Scream, if you know what I did last Halloween. Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that. Wow.
I did a song at the end of Scary Movie. I did a rap song because I rapped in the movie and then we rapped in the song, and I gave them the full song. I gave them a version of the song, and I had the whole chorus is Scream, if you know what I did last Halloween, because there's a rhyme there. Scream, if you know what I did last Halloween, everybody scream, if you know what I did last Halloween. And they're like, oh, we changed the title. So they still made the song. It plays at the end of the movie, but they got rid of the hook. So that sucks. It was a good hook.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So Lochlyn, do you have any more questions for us?
No none. All out. All out.
Awesome, dude.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, boys.
Yes, it was
nice to meet you, Stephen.
Hey, one last time.
Thank you so much.
What's the name of the show on HBO Max?
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
That's
the
name of Peacemaker's the name of Cena's character in the Suicide Squad movie.
And then what character do you play?
Well, they're a group of like weird misfits, right? They think they're superheroes. And so they come to this small town, and there's this Asian actress named Annie Chang, and I play these detectives who are trying to figure out what's going on all of a sudden in our town. So, and then something happens with us. Yeah, I don't want to give it away, bro. It's pretty cool, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully everyone can
tune in. And it's like, it's such great humor. I mean, it's got a lot of sort of Deadpool humor. It's just that James Gunn style, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think the Guardians are my favorite. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're so
that
good,
series.
right? How much fun! I told him, I said, dude, I don't care. I'll paint myself blue. Just throw me in there somewhere. I don't care. Fuck, I'll make you a ham sandwich. You want me to do craft service? Sure, whatever.
Just get some creds.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, man.
All
right. I hope to see you soon.
So you got my email, Sheridan. So yeah, just keep in touch if you ever want me to come and do one of the weekends with you, and if I can do it, I'll come out for sure.
Yeah, we got to figure out one that works for you, and I know there's like Seattle. There's one in Seattle called Crypticon. So maybe something like that.
That's easy. Yeah, Seattle's 2.5 hour drive. That's easy, bro.
Right. Perfect. All right, man.
All right.
See you soon.
All right, boys. Okay, guys.
Maybe I'll see you on the set of Boo.
Later.
Yeah. Let's try and get in that.
By the way, really quick, that's what I was saying. Somebody called me and said, "Oh, I heard they're doing another White Chicks," and I know they have a script because Marlon and Rick have told me about the script for a long time. They just, I don't know if there's a rights situation going on or something. They just had never been able to, or it might be a funding situation because it costs. That's an expensive one to do. If they want to do it, if it's a sequel, they got to do it right. So
but like who wouldn't take a risk with that? Like that was a license to print money. That movie.
I know. I don't know. Maybe there's a rights situation somewhere down the IP.
Yeah,
chain
I've always heard rumblings of a sequel. I think they should. It'd be fun.
Yeah, that's actually somebody called me and said, "Hey, they're finally shooting that other white chicks. Give Rick a call." And I was like, "Oh, well, all right." And, so that was just like a couple weeks ago. But maybe it was the Boo that was announced.
I think well, Boo shoots in Atlanta the same time they're shooting Guardians in Atlanta. So if we go and do Boo, we'll go over and visit. We'll go and visit Gunn, and then we'll get him to throw us into Guardians.
Crash the set.
And that's where he can paint us blue. That's where he can paint us blue.
We'll do Boo, and then we'll be painted blue.
Yeah, exactly. All right, dude.
All right.
I can't wait to give you a hug when I see you in person, man. All right.
I look forward to it, brother.
Yep.
All right.
God bless you. God bless you.
Cheers, guys.